Well, a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Tenant Farmer. My name is David, as always, and today we are finishing up what we started in a bit of a shorts video last week, actually. We are selling the last of the beef stock. This is the last lot going out here. We got the last 8 Aberdeen Angus cattle in our trailer now, and we're going to take these away. We've been doing really well with our pricing. Got a really good weight on them as well. I'm really pleased with how this lot finished off, actually. So they're looking very, very good. And it's time to send them to the maker, really, to make sure we can get them off to they're going to be back on the shelves, really, as prime Aberdeen Angus beef. And yeah, looking good for another cycle. So this lot will be taken to the stores now, and then we're all pretty much set from there. Around we go. And yeah, so the idea is that we always bring in beef calves, Aberdeen Angus calves there to finish, and by finish we mean that we add weight onto them. We allow them to grow and to put on good muscle, but a little bit, you want a little bit of fat in there as well. And then when they're the adequate weight, they get shipped off to be sold, to be turned into beef for your kitchen tables. So we've had 45 this year, and it's been a good year, actually. Haven't run into any issues or ailments along the way there, so we haven't hindered our finishing at all. But yeah, they're looking good. So being able to sell off at the moment for around about the £900 a head mark. We buy them in for a little bit over, or this year we bought them in a little bit over £300 a head. So we're doing all right. It's a good return on our investments there. So we'll take these away, and that provides one of our big injections of cash throughout the calendar year. Now, obviously, what we're trying to do as a farm here is provide as many of these cash injection points as we can throughout the year. So it doesn't mean that we're reliant upon one specific source of income, and we're getting a little bit better doing that. We have a little bit more diversification from our garden plots, and we'll be seeing a lot more work around our hay, forage and fodder output as well, which we'll be able to sell across to the equine industry and also to other fellow farmers as well. But it's all coming. It's all working for us there. But just these kind of things take time. So you've just got to, as long as you're conscious and aware of that, the rest will follow. So yeah, that's the plan. We're going to get everything set up as we need to. It's been nice to have the new tractor on the cattle box, actually, if only because it's just a lot smoother, a lot more power to get up the hill. It's a lot more comfortable ride, actually. This is trip number 5. So yeah, it's a little bit more enjoyable for everybody, really. And then we'll be good. Then we'll be all done and dusted. After this, we've got a little bit of rolling to do on our spring drilled barley. And that's looking pretty good, though, actually. I got that into some really nice conditions, and we're actually expecting a touch of rain there, hopefully in the next week or so. So that'll really kick it on. But yeah, we'll have to get that done. And then we're flying, really. And we're absolutely coasting along, which is great. Fantastic conditions there. The grass is growing. I think actually the way the grass is coming along, we might try and get some silage knocked off in the next week or two. We're going to give it another little bit, like I say, some good sun out at the moment there. So when the sun is shining on the grass there, it improves the quality of the grass, increases the sugars there, which is what we want. We want to see that in our grass, especially when we're feeding it to our cattle. And the dairy cattle will love that. So that's what we need to focus on there. But we're going to go back into here now. And we'll tip this. And then we're I say tip this, we'll unload this, and then we're looking good, really. Okay, so I will get this all unloaded there. I'll get all the paperwork done and sign off and hand over all the passports, etc., and then we should be good to go. And just like that, for the next probably I'd say next 3 months, the cattle shed's empty and they're all gone, and that's another, that load, that was just over about another 7,000, which is always good to see. So that goes a long way, like I say. All right, but we're looking good there. Ooh, let's not hit that stone with the new loader. That would suck. All right, back we go. So now we're pretty much all set up there. Our crops looking good. They're coming along well. We're going to have an agronomist come out soon just to double check, make sure there's nothing else we need to do or be prepared for in the coming weeks as they really start to kick on again in the spring here. But yeah, we should be okay there. Newly drilled crops, of course, are going to be a little bit behind, but they went into some good conditions anyway. So that'll be good once we get the roller out across those. And then, yeah, ultimately it's keeping the dairy cattle going there and getting ourselves lined up, ready to go for our forage work this season. So we're going to be, first, the priority is always going to be baling our own silage. We've got a little bit left over from last year, which is good. And we'll keep those where they are there for next season. And anything else we make, if we make too much there, we can always sell a little bit of it. But yeah, main aim will be to get the grass silage done first. And then we could look into some potential for increasing our hay output as well. That's the next big step. Now for the rest of the day today, we're going to go and pick up a it's essentially like a rotavator mulcher, I guess, because we need to go and mulch over all of the sunflowers that are remaining in our wild bird fruit plot, because eventually we're going to be putting something else in there. So we want to make sure that is all, we want to mulch that in, work all that organic matter in there, so we're probably just going to direct drill. We might go for corn this time, put a bit of maize into there, but we just need to get rid of the currently standing and very much dead crop of sunflowers. So we need to go and pick up a mulcher for that, and then we'll get that work done this afternoon there. So we'll see how we get on with that. We might take the 54 for that one, but we'll see. Right now we're gonna see if we can get this down the narrows here. In fact, no. Alright, we're just gonna have to take this around the corner here a bit. There you go. So yeah, we don't actually have a drill that we can drill any maize with, or even sunflowers really. So we have to get a contractor in when they've got some spare time. But it doesn't need to be a good job. It just needs to establish so it can grow. Like I say, we're not trying to get a yield off here at all. It's simply just for our winter bird feeding. Now, I can stay there for now. Good lord, was I close there? Nailed it. Alright, so all the rest of the hay equipment's looking good. Mowers in the shed there, a little bit of servicing over to do on that before we get rolling with it, but we should be okay. Obviously this is brand new, and then our John Deere baler has returned, having been serviced over. We actually needed to have a couple of bearings replaced, one on the auger on there on that inside, and then a couple on the packer ram in there as well. So that's all been taken care of. Easier for someone else to do that, to be honest. Alright, so we're going to jump on into this. We'll let it take over for a little bit, and then yeah, we're going to go and head off and pick up this mulcher that we've hopefully been able to hire and get the right thing in so we can make some progress. Well, alright folks, you've been here before with me many a times. We're just swinging on in to pick this thing up, and it should be fairly straightforward here for us. Okay, now which way do we need to pick this up from? I think that's the wrong way. We're gonna go, this is currently set up to be rear mounted. You can stick it on the front as well, but we don't have the front PTO, so that's not gonna be something we're gonna do. Okay, so yeah, idea is that we're just gonna reverse through our this big crop, get this all just mulched down there so we can get in there and stick something else in. But yeah, it worked out very well. I was very, very impressed with it. Whoa. That's heavy. I mean, it's less than ideal. Good lord, something there. We'll have to see if we've got a weight that we can borrow lying around the back there somewhere. I think that looks a little bit better. Fortunately, I had a weight that we could borrow with this as well. Otherwise, that would have sucked. Alright. Well. Oh, that door sounds a bit ropey. Anyway, off we go. So, we're just going to, like I say, we're going to beetle on down the road there, go and get this taken care of. Nice little bit of something different to do whilst it's good weather, and then we're on with the rolling, really. So we'll, lots to do today. It's going to be a good day, though. Good day indeed. Let me know how you get on with whatever you're doing as well. I would love to know. Always interested to see how each other's farms are cracking along there and where you're working and what you're getting into at the moment. Yeah, we are all certainly geared up now for what the spring and the summer is going to bring there. I'm very excited to start to really use the front loader on that new Massey. We've got our grassland on the new land is really coming along at the moment there. That's thriving now, especially after having quite a heavy load of slurry put onto it there. So we're looking very, very good as far as that is concerned. That's a heavy old block on the back. Good lord, is it? Now I wanted to go for something that was motorized here because we're going into a lot of material, a lot of stalks and things like that. So it just makes a little bit more sense to have that, and we'll see. So we're actually just going to cut back through the farm here, if only because we can get straight through the forest track there, and it's much better. So as you well know by this point, all of our grassland is organic. So when it comes to cutting anything down, we've got to be strategic about what we cut and when that gets slurry applied on there. We're trying to store up our slurry stores now from the dairy cattle. A lot of it's a service like dirty water really more than anything else, but it'll be good to stick it back onto the ground there. So what we're trying to do is be very strategic. Hey, that's a bit of a rise around where that goes. So for example, this field in here, which was a meadow field really, that we've slowly turned the quality of the grass around, we haven't put too much on here yet. But what we're going to do is when this gets cut, this will be the first field that gets some slurry applied onto it. And then this will get a little bit of silage cut off here, and it'll be straight on into hay for the rest of the season. Hopefully get one good cut of hay off there. That's the plan. I know, okay, like I say, we're going straight on in to this block about here, without causing too much destruction, hopefully. And I fancy just reversing through all this, see how that works. It might work. We might have to go forward. We'll find out in a second. Oh, it's going to be a loud afternoon. Excellent. It's working. So as you can see, these sunflowers have been long overdue for harvest there. We should have been able to harvest these in the back end of the autumn last year. Obviously we didn't. We kept them there for feed for our wintering birds, which worked out quite well. And now we're just going to mulch them, and then we're going to drill probably some sunflowers or maize back in. I haven't decided. It all is really going to depend on what seed I can actually get a hold of. And then we'll stick it back in there. It provides a great habitat. Obviously some great feed options there, but also just good cover. Gives them a good bit of protection there from the elements and from any prey. So that's really good. And a lot of feeding opportunities for both. I've seen a lot of pheasants in here. You see a lot of various different migratory birds as well, so that's fantastic. So it's really worked out very well. So we'll mulch this over there and we will re-establish it. Most of the heads have been picked clean at this point. Any of the seeds will remain on the ground there anyway, so birds can still scavenge around and find them. But I have been monitoring this, and there's a distinct lack of activity around here now, which clearly means they've moved on to other feed sources, wherever they may be. So we'll just keep monitoring it and see what we can do. But yeah, very, very pleased with it. Looking forward to establish a new crop onto here. Ooh, let's just slide that across a little bit there. We'll do it that way, I think. That's better. And we'll see how it goes. All right, we'll just stop that. Get that shut. We don't want any of these doors or windows open here. But let's go and have a peek outside. It's not doing such a bad job, actually. I think it's, as you can see, working everything over there. We'll be able to drill straight on into this, and we should be looking good. But yeah, being a good crop, looking pretty picked up now. Very happy with that. Doesn't cost me too much to establish it. We can apply for various different wildlife schemes that we have submitted for this year coming and beyond. So we just have to account for the amount of acreage that we're going to be putting this into, which we've done, and we should be looking good. So we'll have to see how that comes together. But ultimately right now we're just going to keep going with this, get this all wrapped up looking nice and tidy, and then on with the rolls to go and cover over that ground, and we'll see how we get on. But until next time, we're going to leave it here. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you haven't yet to do so, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more. My name has been David. This has been another episode of The Tenant Farmer, and we will see you in the next one. Catch you later.